Have you ever wondered why some men seem to understand women effortlessly, while others, no matter how much they try, always end up confused, frustrated, or heartbroken? Maybe you've been there, replaying every text, every look, every moment in your mind, trying to figure out what went wrong. You did everything right, didn't you? You cared, you gave, you loved deeply, but somehow she pulled away. What if I told you that it's not about doing more for her? It's about understanding her. Because the truth is, women are not moved by surface-level effort, but by emotional mastery, mystery, and self-control. So, in this video, we're diving deep into 9 female weaknesses every man must know, based on the timeless philosophy of Marcus Aurelius and Stoic wisdom. Before we begin, make sure you subscribe to the channel, like this video, and watch it till the end. Because understanding these 9 weaknesses could completely transform your love life, your confidence, and how women see you forever. 1. The weakness for emotional leadership. Have you ever been in a moment where the woman you loved was upset, maybe crying, frustrated or angry, and you didn't know what to do? You wanted to fix it, you tried to explain, maybe even begged for peace. But the more you did, the more distant she became. That's where most men lose the game. Because women don't want a man who reacts to their emotions. They crave a man who can lead through them. Marcus Aurelius once said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." That's the essence of emotional leadership. A woman may not remember every word you say, but she'll never forget how you made her feel when her world was falling apart. When you stay calm while she's in chaos, when your energy stays unshaken while hers trembles, she feels something she doesn't even understand: safety. It's not dominance, it's emotional stability. Because when your calmness becomes stronger than her storm, she stops fighting and starts trusting. And in that moment, she's not looking at a man, she's looking at her anchor, the one she can't forget. 2. The weakness for silent strength. Have you ever noticed how a woman becomes curious, almost drawn, to the man who says little yet his presence speaks volumes? Think about it. Maybe there was a time in your life when you didn't chase, didn't explain, didn't try to prove anything. You just were. Calm, composed, centered. And somehow she noticed. That's the power of silent strength. Women are naturally emotional. They feel energy before they analyze it. And when they meet a man whose strength doesn't shout, but radiates, it shakes something deep inside them. Marcus Aurelius said, "Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one." That's exactly what silent strength is. You don't talk about being powerful. You embody it. It's the man who doesn't react to gossip, who doesn't explain why he walked away, who stays focused when she tries to test his emotions. That silence, that composure, it drives her mind crazy because it's rare. A woman might forget the loud man who tried to impress her, but she'll never forget the quiet one who carried mystery, self-control, and confidence in his silence. That man lingers in her memory long after he's gone. The weakness for masculine mystery. Have you ever noticed how women become intrigued by the man they can't fully figure out? The one who doesn't reveal everything, who keeps parts of himself locked behind calm eyes and a quiet smile. That's masculine mystery, and it's one of the most powerful forces of attraction. Think about it. When you liked someone deeply, did you ever make the mistake of telling her everything too soon? Your feelings, your plans, your insecurities? At first it felt honest, right? But over time she seemed to lose interest. Why? Because the unknown disappeared. There was no longer anything to discover. Marcus Aurelius once said, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." A mysterious man keeps his thoughts sacred. He doesn't let everyone see what he's thinking, because he understands. Mystery creates curiosity, and curiosity creates desire. A woman's mind loves a puzzle. She wants to feel that there's more beneath the surface, that the man in front of her carries secrets, depth, and purpose she can sense but never fully own. That's what keeps her drawn in, and what makes her never forget him. For the weakness for competence. Have you ever noticed how a woman looks at a man differently when he handles things without breaking a sweat? When something goes wrong, the car won't start, plans fall apart, someone disrespects him, and instead of panicking, he simply handles it. That calm, capable energy, that's competence, and it's one of the deepest weaknesses women have for men. You see, attraction isn't just about looks or money, it's about how a man makes a woman feel. When she senses that you can handle life, that you're steady, grounded, reliable, she feels safe. And safety, my friend, is the most powerful form of desire. Marcus Aurelius once said, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." The competent man lives by this. He doesn't complain, he adapts. He doesn't freeze, he moves. Think back to a time when your calmness surprised even you, when you didn't argue, didn't chase, just handled what needed to be done. That moment, that's when your masculine energy spoke louder than words. A woman may forget a man's appearance, but she never forgets how safe she felt in his competence. 5. The weakness for emotional discipline. Have you ever lost your temper with a woman? Said things you didn't mean, or reacted out of hurt, only to regret it later? We've all been there. In the heat of emotion, we think showing passion proves love. But in truth, it often shows weakness, because real strength isn't in controlling her emotions. It's in mastering your own. A woman might test you, push your buttons, or withdraw just to see how you'll respond. And in that moment, your reaction tells her everything. If you crumble, chase, or explode, she knows she holds power. But when you stay calm, centered, and collected, when you refuse to let her chaos disturb your peace, that's when she feels something rare: respect. Marcus Aurelius said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Realize this and you will find strength. Emotional discipline doesn't mean coldness. It means maturity. It means feeling deeply, but never being ruled by those feelings. Because the man who can stay calm in love's storms, who can express care without losing control, becomes unforgettable. A woman never forgets the man who loved her, yet never lost himself. 6. The weakness for purpose. What truly drives you when no one's watching? What wakes you up in the morning besides her messages or her love? Because here's a truth that few men realize. Women are magnetically drawn to a man who has purpose. A man whose life revolves around something greater than chasing her attention. Remember when you first started dating someone and everything felt new? Every text, every touch, every smile. But then, somewhere along the line, you made her your entire world. You stopped focusing on your dreams, your goals, your growth. And slowly, she began to lose interest. Why? Because she could feel you losing yourself. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "A man's worth is greater than the worth of his ambitions." Women feel this truth deeply. When a man walks with purpose, when he's building something, chasing excellence and staying disciplined, she feels it. It gives his presence gravity. Purpose is masculine energy in motion. It's what separates a man she likes from a man she respects. And when a woman meets a man who doesn't need her to complete him, because he's already full of direction and drive, she never forgets him. 7. The weakness for emotional connection. Have you ever met a woman who said she wanted a strong man, but deep down, what she truly craved was connection? She wanted to feel seen, not just looked at. She wanted someone who understood her silence more than her words. That's emotional connection, and it's one of the most powerful weaknesses a woman has. Think about your own love story for a moment. Remember that one woman who made you feel alive, not because of what she did, but because of how deeply you connected. You could talk for hours or sit in silence and still feel understood. That's the kind of bond that burns into memory. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "When you arise in the morning, think of what a privilege it is to be alive, to think, to love, to feel." Emotional connection comes from presence, from being fully there when you're with her. Not on your phone, not distracted, but truly listening, truly feeling. A woman never forgets the man who touched her soul instead of her ego. Because passion fades, looks change, but the memory of being deeply understood stays forever. 8. The weakness for gentle confidence. Have you ever noticed how women react to the man who walks into a room without trying to prove anything, yet somehow everyone feels his presence? That quiet assurance, that calm self-belief. That's what we call gentle confidence. It's not arrogance. It's not loud. It's not the man bragging about what he's done or who he knows. It's the man who simply knows himself. He's grounded, sure of his worth, and doesn't need validation. Not from her, not from anyone. Think back to when you were your most confident. Not because of success or attention, but because you were at peace with who you were. Maybe it was after you overcame heartbreak or achieved something on your own. That inner steadiness, that's what women crave. Marcus Aurelius said, "Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one." A man with gentle confidence lives by this. He doesn't talk about being alpha. He doesn't need to dominate. His calmness is his strength. Women remember this type of man because he feels safe, powerful, and rare. His confidence doesn't shout. It whispers in every move, every word, every silence. And that's why she never forgets him. 9. The weakness for a man who can walk away. Have you ever had a moment where you truly loved someone, yet realized you were losing yourself trying to keep them? That moment when you knew walking away would hurt, but staying would destroy your peace? That, my friend, is the mark of a powerful man, the man who can walk away. Women may admire strength, success, or charm, but what they never forget is the man who chose self-respect over attachment. Marcus Aurelius said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." And when a man walks away with calmness, without drama, without begging, he shows her that his peace is not negotiable. Think about it. When you stop chasing, when you no longer explain or prove your worth, something changes. She begins to wonder. That silence speaks louder than any argument ever could, because a man who can walk away shows that he was never trapped by emotion. He mastered it. And here's the truth. Women might not admit it, but deep down they respect the man who could have stayed, yet didn't, the one who valued himself enough to say, "I love you, but I love my peace more." Final words. Remember, these aren't weaknesses to exploit. They're reflections of human psychology and emotional truth. Marcus Aurelius didn't teach manipulation. He taught mastery over yourself, your mind, and your desires. Women never forget the man who embodies these principles, a man of peace, purpose, and power, a man who listens more than he speaks, who controls himself, not others, who lives fully, with or without her, and that's why he's unforgettable. With that said, thanks for watching, and until next time.